Right now, somewhere on Earth, a person is losing an argument with a small glowing number. The room is still dark, the blanket is still warm, the body has filed a very reasonable complaint, but the screen says the night is over. Not the sun, not hunger, not cold air moving through a room. A number. Think about that for a second. A tired body checks an abstract symbol and treats it like a command for management. The strange part is not that clocks exist. The strange part is that we obey them. Before a person could be late to time, time was not a number. It was light moving across the ground. It was cold air, a hungry stomach, tired legs, and clouds that looked like a bad idea. Animals moved, birds lifted, insects got loud, and someone nearby said, basically, not now. That was not primitive clock reading. It was reading the room, except the room was Earth. Morning arrived because the world changed, not because a tiny rectangle filed a complaint. Work, rest, travel, danger, these were conditions people noticed together. Your body was not outside the schedule, trying to catch up to it. Your body was one of the instruments. No minute hand, no deadline, just light, hunger, weather, other people, and the problem of moving together. That last problem is where measured time starts to look reasonable. Because once people have to move together, vague signals can get messy. Light is useful, hunger is useful, weather is useful, but none of them are great at saying, please arrive at the same place before everyone gives up. So groups needed shared markers, a signal for meeting, trading, leaving, praying, working, and coming back. Not because anyone hated naps yet, because coordination is hard when everybody is reading the day from a slightly different angle. Shared time made action easier to line up. Basically group coordination with better paperwork. At this stage, the clock was not the boss. It was more like a very useful group chat. For a while, time was still basically a very useful group chat. But then the group chat learned how to ring a bell. A public signal did something older signs could not do. It made many bodies share one moment at the same time. Work could begin, a market could open, a group could gather. A journey could leave before everyone finished emotionally negotiating with breakfast. This was not evil, it was coordination with better volume. But the important change was quiet. The signal now lived outside the body, and when it rang, it did not ask if anyone felt ready. The signal could gather a group. But eventually, the signal did more than gather. It started organizing the day before the body had much to say about it. Work began at a measured time. Shifts ended at a measured time. Basically, the clock became a very small manager with no face and excellent attendance. In factories, schools, trains, offices, and appointments, the same pattern spread. Not because every clock was evil. That would be too simple and frankly too cinematic. Because modern systems need bodies to arrive, pause, move, wait, and leave together. Minutes became units. You could sell them, lose them, waste them, or be accused of stealing them. Think about that for a second. A minute was not just a bit of sunlight or hunger anymore. It was something another person could count. So the schedule slowly became more real than tiredness, weather, boredom, or appetite, and the body had to fit inside the box. And once the body had to fit inside the box started judging the body. A few minutes late stopped being just a measurement. It became a tiny, public biography. Not the bus was slow or sleep won one round, but unreliable, careless, selfish, not serious enough, which is a lot of moral paperwork to attach to 7 minutes. This is the strange trick of clock time. It does not only organize what people do, it translates what people do into what kind of person they seem to be. A missed moment can become disrespect. A slow morning can become laziness. And suddenly, measured time is not just counting humans, it is measuring them. And once time can measure people, the story changes. The clock is no longer just a clever way to know where the sun went. It becomes a shared reality, a number that everyone can point to and say, this is the moment. That is useful, extremely useful. Basically, society gets one big external nervous system. Strangers can work, travel, meet, trade, and apologize late by the same invisible ruler. They do not need to know your hunger, your tiredness, or whether the morning feels wrong. The number is public. Your body is private. And in a group, public usually wins. Not because clocks are evil, but because shared systems need something everyone can obey. That is the hidden residue of the whole system. Your body did not stop reading time. It still reads sleep pressure, hunger, light, fatigue, attention, and social energy. Very rude of it, honestly. Still running the old software. The schedule reads something else. It reads blocks, slots, deadlines, openings, closings, and acceptable arrival. Not because your body is wrong, but because the public system needs one answer. So modern life often asks a private organism to obey an abstract number. You may be hungry before lunch, tired before bedtime, alert after midnight. The calendar has reviewed this information and decided to continue anyway. That is the strange conflict. We are not bad at time. We are old bodies living inside social time. And that matters because the same clock that interrupts your body also lets strangers share a world. Cities do not run on everyone vaguely feeling that morning has a certain vibe. Trains, clinics, schools, shifts, meetings, deliveries, broadcasts, they need a common signal. Measured time makes that possible. It lets one person arrive, another prepare, and a third not stand in the rain like an unpaid statue. So no, the clock is not just some tiny tyrant with numbers. It is a coordination technology. But coordination is never only coordination once people can be judged by it. A minute becomes something you can waste, sell, lose, defend, apologize for. Basically, society took a helpful measuring tool and gave it social teeth. Not because the clock is evil, because once bodies are synchronized at scale, the schedule starts talking back. The result is modern life, possible, impressive, and occasionally very bad at noticing you are tired. And this is where the system gets very quiet. You check the time before you check whether you are hungry. You apologize for 3 minutes, like you have damaged civilization. Rest becomes a calendar item, which is a very modern kind of comedy. You can sit completely still and somehow feel like you are rushing. A number on a screen can make the body feel behind, not injured, not lost, just late according to the invisible spreadsheet. The huge system now lives in tiny domestic details. So when the small number wakes a body, the sound is modern, but the pressure underneath is old. Move with the group, make tomorrow predictable. The alarm is society knocking through a world we built.